Hi guys, my name is Rouaa. I'm Peace Council Chair and I'm from Syria. Here at AC, we value our diversity and we respect that by being mindful and open-minded to different beliefs. We aim to be inclusive no matter how different our cultures and practices may be. For this reason, it is important to keep in mind that there are certain behaviors or things that you can say that may be offensive or culturally insensitive to other people. So this video is going to guide you through behaviors to avoid so that the community can be as inclusive and comfortable for everybody as possible. And some members of the community are going to share what it's like to be your true self at AC. Enjoy!
Hey, I'm George, and I'm one of the P6 leaders here at AC. The three other leaders and I run the LGBTQ plus support and awareness club. At P6, we have discussions on issues and topics relating to the queer community, from history to general aspects of being LGBTQ plus. These sessions and their topics vary each week, and we always encourage other students to lead sessions if interested. In addition, we organize events and provide resources. At AC, we have a diverse student body, which includes an approximate of 30% of students identifying as queer in some way. By the way, for those unfamiliar with the word queer, it refers to those identifying with the LGBTQ plus community. As there is such a large queer presence at AC, there are several events at the college that celebrate this aspect. Percentage Ball is the first ball of the school year, where the college's sexual and gender diversity is celebrated. Drag show, where students can perform and or walk the runway in drag or any gender-bending way, and many other occasions that P6 organizes. In addition to all this, P6 runs a queer listener and mentorship program for the students, which Saskia will expand upon.
Hi, I'm Saskia, and I'm one of the 22 queer listeners on campus. We're here if you want to talk about anything queer-related. We offer confidential listening and support, but we're also here to explain anything you don't understand, for example, about how to treat your queer peers, or if there's maybe a label you don't understand. We also offer a queer mentorship program that you can sign up to if you're queer, and we will assign you somebody who can give you more directed and personal support. No worries, this is anonymous, and emails will be sent soon. The simple trick to living on such a diverse campus is just to ask. Ask people what pronouns they want you to use, and ask people if you're doing anything wrong. Although, generally it's not important to ask people what their sexuality is, unless they tell you, of course. But also don't assume that everyone is cisgender and heterosexual. Just keep an open mind. In order to keep our campus a safe and inclusive space, there are, however, some things that you really must not say. We'll explain them now.
Hey guys, my name's Arman and I'm a queer listener. So I'm going to talk to you about some things you never should do at AC. First of all, never assume someone's sexuality or identity. No one is ever going to get offended if you ask them for their preferred pronouns or sexual orientation. And with that in mind, never out anyone. So just because someone tells you their preferences doesn't mean they want the rest of the college or the rest of the world to know. Also, someone's sexuality or identity is personal. Don't force someone to share if they don't want to. Also, there are some slurs that you should never, under any circumstance, use. First, we have the D slur, F slur, T slur. On top of that, another thing you should never do is sexualize the LGBTQ community. It happens a lot. It is not nice. We don't like it. And you're gonna get a little sketch about why you shouldn't do this. So, play the film.
Yes, I'm gay.
Oh my god, you can totally be my GBF, my gay best friend. Like, not my real best friend, but my gay best friend.
So lastly, don't be afraid to ask. We are super friendly. You have queer listeners around you that are trained to answer your question. Educate yourselves. Have fun.
Hello, I'm Kai, and I suppose I'm what some people like to call a third culture kid. I've now reached the stage in my life where if someone asks me where I am from, I'll answer, it's complicated. Despite not feeling very at home wherever I have lived, I felt it at AC from very soon after I arrived at the castle. I'll first warn you though, I have never struggled very much with my identity in this regard, so I can't speak for those who have. Despite having moved around my whole life, with little to no physical ties to my countries of origin, I've always been very comfortable in my skin. I believe I formed my identity without this element of nationality. This can be quite sad. In AC, you see people all around you positively exploding with culture and love for their country. But it also allows you to take in and appreciate these other cultures in an entirely different way. If any of you struggle to identify with any one culture, there is no better place than AC to become comfortable with your third culture self. People from all nationalities and cultures are so generous here and so willing to share. Throughout my time, I have been welcomed wherever I go, and I am allowed and encouraged to either observe or take part in different and all sorts of activities. It must be known, however, that removing the question of national culture from your identity, as I have done, is very, very much not the only answer. I can think of so many truly remarkable multinational individuals who come from different corners of the world, but still demonstrate their cultures with every bone in their bodies. This is again where the amazing environment of AC may help you. Our national groups are so happy to welcome you, as long as you feel in some way at home or represented in the country or the national group. Personally, I am half Indian, but I've never lived there. I'm nearly half British, but only lived there for the first 1.5 years of my life. I spent most of my life in the US, but can't remember it. Lived in the Netherlands and Kenya, and I'm currently living in France. In situations like these, it is common to feel that you are not enough. I'm not subcontinent enough. I'm not African enough. These feelings amount to so little in practice. There is no question of enough as long as the culture is there in some part. In every national group I've approached, I have been welcomed warmly, and it is always so much fun to get those glimpses of home that only come with the culture. You form a very special bond with your national group. While most of us will only know each other for 2 years, yet still somehow become closer friends than you've ever had, your national group shares with you a lifetime of experiences. Even if you're like me, and your lifetime has been spread all over the world, I find something bizarrely homely in national groups. I truly hope you will find the same.
Hi, my name is Aiswarya and I'm from India. South Asians in the global media are often portrayed in a very specific angle that does not often represent the rich diversity we have within us. Often, it's quite stereotypical and can come off as quite ignorant and hurtful. It's quite easy to assume that brown people you meet may be of Indian origin, but actually brown people are also Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Bhutanese, Nepalese, or even diaspora such as Mauritius or from the Maldives. This also means linguistic diversity, so not all subcontinents speak Hindi as you may think. I myself am from South India, so I speak a different language. So don't hold any assumptions. Please ask your subcontinent friends about their culture, and they will be so happy to respond. Let's not tease a brown student for their accent or for their pronunciations in English, because most of us are tri or bilingual, and it's hard enough as it is. And you know what? Why does it really matter, right? So what if their English isn't perfect? And a lot of our names are ethnic, so they may be unfamiliar or long. Mine's Aiswarya, and it's not quite common. And often we shorten them to make it easier for other people to say it. But these names do hold a lot of meaning to us, and it would be nice if people wouldn't make fun of it. And a lot of the times the questions about it do come from curiosity, again, but they may come off as quite ignorant. And overall, the subcontinent is so culturally diverse and isn't limited to just Bollywood and curry. We are more than happy to answer any questions you may have about us, so please keep an open mind. That being said, I'm only speaking for the brown minority of students who may have faced these problems, but other ethnic minorities may also face that similar microaggression, so please be aware of that fact.
Hey, my name is Michelle and I'm from Kenya, Africa. Coming from a predominantly black country, I hadn't really faced much racism and I wasn't very knowledgeable about it until I came to AC. You see, when I came here, it made me realize that I'm black. And many people in my national group faced some microaggressions, like people asking why we spoke such good English as Africans, or if we drove cars, if we had electricity in our countries. And these little things really hurt us because their perception of our countries were not the beautiful places that we knew. We realized, though, that for many at AC, they only know about Africa and the Caribbean from the skewed views from the media, and that wasn't our fault. Instead, we corrected the misconstructed narratives of Africa and the Caribbean with different platforms. You will realize at AC that everyone is willing to listen and to learn. If you're confused, say you don't know if a country is in Africa or in the Caribbean, just ask. If you want to find out how we braid our hair, or if a country is in Africa, the languages that we speak, just ask. All of my Black and Afro-Caribbean peers are happy to answer any questions that you might have. Also, my Black and Afro-Caribbean firsties, you must realize that it is important to have an open mind when asked such questions, because most times it does come from a place of curiosity and not malicious intent. That being said, there's also a difference between curiosity and ignorance, and it's very important to draw the line. I'm looking forward to meeting you all and learning about all our different cultures together this year.
With such a diverse student body comes different beliefs. And with different beliefs, we have a lot of different religions on campus. With that being said, it's always more considerate and better to not make assumptions about which religion a person may choose to identify with, especially if you're basing your assumption on what country or geographical region they come from. People also choose to physically practice their religion or perform specific practices to live their religion every day. So if you see your roommate doing that, even though they might be doing something differently from the way you've been doing it your whole life, it's also best not to single them out and make them feel different, and instead to have a really just cool discussion and ask them how they feel when they do that and why they do it. And it may be a learning opportunity for the both of you, or just a really interesting discussion that you have with your roommate that will help you learn more about them instead of singling someone out and making them feel different. And remember that all of these efforts are to make our community more inclusive and make it feel like everybody can be their own true self in such a diverse community. And it's a team effort, so we all need to be doing these things and being more considerate and not making assumptions about other people.
Hey, I'm Valentina and I'm from Colombia, South America. At the beginning, I was really excited about coming to AC since this will mean interacting with people from all over the world while sharing my culture with others. But when I first came, I had to face many challenges, mostly because of my English. Since this is not my first language, I had a hard time trying to express myself, my concerns, my feelings, and my personality. My academic life was hard. Trying to understand the classes while spending a large amount of time on homework, studying the whole day so I could understand what we just did during classes, it was definitely a thought time in my life at AC. This is why my national group has become a foothold for me, since they were always willing to listen to me, dance, and share those moments I was afraid of sharing with others because of my struggle with English. They always made me feel understood and valued. At the same time, they encouraged me to try my best and give my best to others. I will suggest you not to judge when it comes to accents, expressions, shyness. I still have this phrase stuck in my head. When it's given the choice between being right and kind, choose kind. Listen to people, but purely. Be patient. Know everyone might be feeling in a comfortable position. Try not to comment without thinking about how people will feel about those words. And please, if you see someone is struggling in a certain situation, help them out. We really appreciate those acts of kindness. Chill with them. You could find a great, great friend. And for those who are in my position, speak out. I know this will be intimidating. I was shaking when I first realized I had to talk about it. But believe me, I have never first felt so loved and support as when I told people how I was feeling. Being in a new environment with such strong personalities and traditions might be overwhelming, and I understand you. But it's up to you to make others feel at home.